affecting children. Let's say he's a child. There are so many things. It doesn't mean if you are a child you cannot have stress. You can have a stress while you're a child because of some social or environmental factors that we've explained. Maybe your parents are getting divorced. Maybe bullying at school. Yeah. At home there's no peace. Some social pressure that we see, the peer pressure. There are so many things that we can count that can push a person or a child to be depressed. So I will advise, if your parent doesn't want to give you an ear, it's okay. There are still other parents. It says it takes a village to raise a child. You can go to whomever you feel like you trust. You can pour out whatever. But also even to parents, I would say, do not be so distant to your children.
Don't be dismissive.
Don't be so like whatever that they are saying, you're just saying, hey, umwana. No, because as much as you are an adult, you have emotions and feelings, and you can feel pain and stressed out. Even kids can feel the same thing that you are feeling. So even depression in children is there.
Sure.
Even depression in children is there. Yeah.
So, what was you? So you say, if your parents give you such a response,
a dismissal,
such a dismissive response, you can approach someone else that you trust, even if it's another parent or a counselor from church you trust.
Or your teacher. Normally at schools there will be some educational psychologists or some social workers. Now we are living in the times that life is hectic. So we don't even have to feel ashamed of how you feel. I'm not saying you must go all around telling everyone that, hey, my parents are getting divorced. No, but acknowledge what you feel, that what I feel is not right. Act on it, talk to someone. You don't have to be ashamed of feeling sad or ashamed of being lonely.
Yes.
If you are lonely, you are lonely. And you must do something about your loneliness. I mean, in this world we are so, I heard someone saying, in this world we are so many, but sometimes you find yourself being alone, being empty. But reach out. Don't be, if you don't reach out, you won't get help. And that thing you do will grow and grow until when you feel like dying is the only option. So get help in whatever way that you can, even if it takes you to write a letter to a pastor and put it under the Bible on the pulpit or whatever and say, I'm not feeling okay, can I speak to you? Or try by all means, because they are saying early detection saves lives. When we find it is still a mild depression. You don't even have to go for those antidepressants. You don't even have to go for professional diagnosis. While something still mild, life coach people like me, they can assist you and just get your perspective in order before we even escalate to the next step, you see. Yeah.
Okay. Then we have another question. How do you deal with that, and to be vocal and speak real support from your parents as well?
I think we have touched on that already.
And bullying causes depression. Does bullying cause depression?
Yes.
I guess is the question.
Especially in young children.
Yeah.
Bullying, especially at school, and especially when the child come and say, "Mama go school and you find that kind of a parent that is very dismissal. So bullying, yes, does cause depression, and because when someone bullies you, at the end of the day, you feel so very down about yourself. You feel like you don't have that self-worth, you are not strong enough, or you are not confident enough. Sometimes you feel the guilt and say maybe it's because of 1, 2, 3 that I'm not doing right. So yes, bullying does cause depression. And if you are bullied, if you are bullied, it does not mean you are weak.
Okay.
No. If you are bullied, I agree the buller thinks is stronger than you.
Yeah.
So if you are bullied, it does not mean you are weak. It just means you you are a better person because you don't defend back or you don't fight back.
Yeah.
Yes. So it can cause depression. That's why I've said when we started to discuss it, whatever kind of negativity that you come across, let's deal with that negativity before it extends. Bullying is a negative thing that can happen, just like abuse, just like trauma, just like fear, just like anger. Those negative feelings, they can cause depression if
And
you are not
also,
dealt with.
Sometimes the corner like get or you're wearing something
Yeah.
and such comments,
Yeah.
even when you say it out of a place of joke
Mm.
or just goodwill, or just like, I don't like the way you look with
Yeah.
that hairstyle.
Yeah.
It can be so hurtful to that person, even if they are depressed.
Mm.
You can, like, a comment can just send them over. Do you think that's true?
It's true, because let me just advise, as you know, as young adults, because now we are talking to the young adults. As young adults in life, we all have responsibility about how you take things, how you perceive things, ne? Like, I can throw a comment at you and say you are ugly. Normally when people come to see me at my practice, they say a methodology or a mechanism that you are using, that you have to learn to draw a circle around you or a crawl around you.
How?
Emotionally so.
Okay.
And say, okay, it's okay to get offended. It's normal to get offended.
Yeah.
But say, I'm blocking things, negative things, so that they don't overwhelm me or get control over me.
Yeah.
You can say you are ugly, ne? Or you don't look nice today. Okay, it's fine. You must feel bad about it, but don't let that feeling to overwhelm you to such an extent that I can't even get out of the house because they are saying I'm ugly. I can't even talk or smile aloud in front of, because they say I don't have nice teeth.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So how you perceive things is also important. It's one of the mechanisms that we can use to defend depression. You defend negative things and say, this kind of thing won't come into my territory. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yes.
I remember when, sorry to interrupt, when the last video we did, and you were talking about when you had cancer, and you said you'd look at yourself in the mirror and you wouldn't feel beautiful, and you would affirm your beauty by saying, I'm beautifully
and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
Yes. There's a scripture in Philippians 4 verse 8, if I'm not mistaken. The Bible, actually, that scripture, every time when I look at it, it's like it was written for people who are depressed or who are feeling bad about themselves. It says, whatever that is good, whatever that is noble, whatever that is of good virtue, whatever that is good, they were counting everything